What's up guys, FM Campbell here and welcome to the defensive midfielder episode of this Wonder Kid series that we're doing. Thanks very much for watching. Again, like all other videos, just to mention before we start, don't forget every single player is different in every single save, so these players may not appear the exact same as they do in your saves or in other people's saves, so that's just to keep aware. Also to make you aware as well, a Wonder Kid I-Class is up to the age of 20 years old. So if it's a 21-year-old where you think, where the hell is he? For instance, centre-back, a couple of people on Twitter were saying, where's Balanta? He's obviously not, he's older than 20 years old. Excuse me. So let's get straight into it. We're starting for the youngest. So we've got Ruben Neves. This guy's Portuguese, currently playing for Porto in the B team. And this guy is an absolute beast. He is going to be a world beater on this game. 575k in value, 1.3k a week. In wages. He's currently listed on loan. From personal experience, I found him quite hard to get, so maybe you can get him in the next season or whatnot, but this guy is absolutely amazing. I really highly recommend him. His physical attributes are probably only the place that need working on. His technical attributes, I suppose, as well, maybe a little bit, but there's pretty much 12 across the board. But this guy, his development is very, very quick. His development is very good as well. And I mean, look at these mental stats. They're just ridiculous. Leadership, so he's a potential captain. Look at that. Determination and leadership, both 17 at the age of 17. So it's crazy. So defensive midfielder, he's actually, his best role, according to my game, is as an anchor man. So, I mean, physical attributes for that do need to catch up, but obviously he was very, very young. Next we got Carlos Gruezo. 19 years old, Colombian, 2.4 million in value, 3.8k a week in wages. Again, this guy looks very, very good. 19 years old. Physical attributes are superb. Other than his strength, it'd be good to have him a little bit stronger. Mental attributes are okay. Aggression's a little bit of concern, so watch out for yellows and red cards. But other than that, his mental attributes are pretty good. Concentration will come throughout age. It looks like probably a ball-winning midfielder, I'd imagine, with tackling a 14, marking a 15, passing a 13. His first touch of 14. So he's actually very, very good. One to look out for. He's 5'7" as well. Nicholas Stark. This guy also looks like another world beater, potentially. 19 years old, German. Plays for Nuremberg at the moment. He's wanted by 2 clubs. I'm guessing that's probably on loan. No, transfer. Basel and Feyenoord, so you're going to have to fight for his signature by the looks of it. Physical attributes are pretty much all there. It's good natural fitness. Mental attributes are actually really good. It's just his decisions that needs a little bit of work, and the aggression's a little bit of concern as well, like other players. But his technical's not too bad as well. Also looks like a ball-winning midfielder. Marking of 15, passing of 12, and tackling of 15. Like I said, 19 years old, 6'2", so he is quite tall. But the heading doesn't really go with the height, unfortunately. 1.7k a week in wages, 2 million in value. Next we got Savic, or Sergej Milinkovic. Trying to do it anyway. Physical attributes a little bit of a concern, but his mental attributes are pretty good, just above average, I'd say. Technical attributes as well, quite similar to his mental. What am I thinking? He's probably a box-to-box midfielder. Could be ball winner, tackling a 13. But yeah, again, looks like a good player. 19 years old, Serbian, currently playing for Genk. 3.8k in wages, 160 grand value, so very, very cheap. So keep an eye out for this guy in the future. Next, we have Peta Gherkins. This guy's proved to be quite popular on Twitter. Other than his physical, that's the only one that's a bit of a concern for me. Natural fitness of 8, especially. And strength's pretty poor as well. Again, he probably looks like a box-to-box midfielder, or sort of an anchorman or something like that, ball winner maybe. Mental attributes are pretty good actually. That's probably one good thing he does have about him. His technical attributes are pretty much across the board, to be honest with you. There isn't anything that stands out. There's a lot of 12s and 13s, but they're mainly all 11s, to be honest. But with a bit of training, you could probably train this guy to be whatever you want him to be. 80 grand in value, so very cheap. 1.3k a week in wages. and playing for Genk. Is that the same as Savic? Both playing for Genk? Yeah, they are. There we go. Marcos Llorente. Currently playing for Castilla or Real Madrid B, if you like to call them that. Physical attributes, well, I mean, they're good, but he's very, very slow. His balance isn't great either. 19 years old, 350k in value, 2.4k a week. Currently listed for loan. What else have we got going on? Technical attributes now. His passing's pretty good. First touch is okay. Technique's okay. Probably a deep line playmaker, this guy, maybe. What else have we got? Mental attributes are pretty good, to be fair. Other than his concentration, which will come with age. Excuse me. Sergi Samper. You may recognise this guy from previous FMs. This guy did turn out to be quite a good player on FM 14. Weirdly, I think in my Man United save, he went on the transfer list quite quickly. He's not on the transfer list at the beginning, but he is wanted by a club at the minute, Valencia. So I'd imagine they probably want, or he'll probably become frustrated and want to be put on the transfer list. Physical attributes are a bit of a concern. There isn't really anything that stands out other than natural fitness. But his mental attributes are absolutely brilliant. He's pretty much across the board. Decision 17, composure 16, teamwork and vision both 16. We've got anticipation of 15, positioning 15, passing 16, first touch 18, and technique 16 to go with a tackling of only 12, and a dribbling. So I'd imagine this guy's a box to box. If you want to play in centre midfield, if not, he's probably going to be a deep line playmaker, maybe. That's what I'd imagine. 19 years old, 11 grand a week in wages, currently at Barcelona. He's 3.6 million in value. Junior Malanda. Now, I've stumbled across this guy, much like I have a lot of these players. 19 years old, he's Belgian, 4.4 million in value, 12.75k a week in wages. Currently playing in Germany in Wolfsburg. 19 years old, he's 6 foot in height. Physical attributes unbelievable. He's quite versatile, can play centre back or centre midfield, and with a little bit of training, he could possibly play down the right hand side as well. What we got? Bravery 17. Which is good with a strength. Aggression at 15, so be wary of that. Determination of 15, work rate is 16, teamwork of 14, so it's not too bad at all. Probably looking at an anchor man here. Tackling of 14, heading 14, marking 14. So there is your centre back stats if you want to use them. But yeah, he's got some technical attributes that are pretty promising as well to go with them with first touch. Passing 12 and technique 12. So yeah, another one to look out for. Lucas Romero. Now, this guy is the man. Possibly one of my favourite defensive midfielders or centre midfielders on the game, especially as a youngster. 20 years old, currently in Argentina at Vélez, 2.8 million in value, 4.6k a week. You can usually get in between 6 and 10 million in the first season. Physical attributes are very, very good, very promising, and his mental attributes are superb as well. And that goes hand in hand with his technical as well. Look at that, marking of 15, passing of 15. He's an anchor man, I believe, but I think you can retrain to be a deep line playmaker if you want him to. But yeah, this guy's one of my favourites. 5'9" in height, so he's not massive, but he is very, very good and definitely one for the future. Josip Radosevic. Now, this guy was good on FM 13, I believe. His physical attributes are pretty good, other than he's not very quick and he can't jump. Mental attributes, they're sort of across the board. His decision's pretty poor. Off the ball and vision are pretty poor. So this guy's definitely an anchor man or a ball winner. Aggression's a little bit of a concern, but look at that, bravery of 18, work rate 17, stamina 17. So he is going to be the man that's going to get through 90 minutes every single game. Technical attributes are pretty average, to be honest. Maybe a little bit just above, with a couple of 13s in there and a few 12s. He was listed for loan at the beginning, and a lot of clubs do want him on loan, so you're going to have to get him pretty quickly. Currently playing for Napoli in Italy, and the Croatian's on 8.5k a week in wages, 1.7 million in value, and he's 20 years old. Rafadine Abdullah. I played a save on FM 13 with West Brom, and this guy turned out to be an absolute beast. His physical attributes are pretty good. Maybe does need a little bit of work though. Mental attributes are pretty average across the board. He does actually look just about average, but normally this guy develops pretty well. Technical attributes does need some work though. He's only got a couple of 13s with first touch, passing and technique. He's worth 1.2 million playing for Lorient in France. He is also French, 20 years old as I said, and £8 he's on £8 a week. I think has he just moved there? No, he's been there for a season, so you can get him if you want in the first season. Moving on, Lucas Candido. This guy is actually... I stumbled upon him. I got recommended by a friend with this guy. He's actually a sneaky one because he's quite cheap. He's only £1 million in value, 3.9k a week in wages. 20 years old. I'm currently playing for Atletico Mineiro. He's injured at the beginning of the game. Yeah, injured at the beginning of the game for up to 3 months. He's got cruciate ligament damage, so be wary of his injury. But he actually progresses quite well. And my friend actually retrained this guy as a centre back. Now I know it's shown as competent as centre back at the moment. I prefer him as a defensive midfielder. But yeah, he's not too bad. Physical attributes are pretty good for a 20-year-old. He's pretty average in his mental. And to be honest with you, I mean, he's got the ball winning stats in there with 14 in tackling, 14 in marking, 13 in heading. But he's actually not too bad with the ball with his technique at 13. First touch is 11, which will come. Weirdly, he can shoot. Well, signs of being able to shoot in the future. So yeah, one to just keep your eye on him. Sergi Darder, you may also recognise this guy from previous FMs as well. To my knowledge, he's still at Malaga and he's been there the whole time. He's 20 years old as well, 2.4 million in value, 13.75k a week in wages. Defensive midfielder, naturally. His physical attributes are pretty good. He can't jump and he's not very quick. Well, his pace isn't very good, to say the least. His mental attributes are actually pretty good. Great determination stats, which I really like in the player. But other than that, his composure is 13, concentration 14, decisions 14. His position is 15, which is key. And then his technical attributes are pretty good as well, to be honest. If you have a little bit of work, and this guy could become quite a good player. First touch of 14, long shots 14, passing 14, marking 13, technique of 14, and then tackling of 13 as well. He's 5'11", so he's not massive. But again, another one to keep your eye on. Srđan Milinkovic, this guy you may recognise from previous FMs as well. Serbian, 800k in value, 5.75k a week in wages, 20 years old. What we got? So physical attributes are pretty average, a little bit above. Mental attributes are okay actually. Aggression is a little bit of a worry. Bravery is good. Position is really good. With the work rate to go with it as well. Determination is not too bad. He's never going to be a captain anytime soon. But other than that, maybe train his composure, get his composure up, and his decisions will come as well. But it's his technical and his strength, technical and his physical that need working on. What we got in technical, so we've got tackling a 14, marking a 14, so definitely an anchor man or a ball winning midfielder in my opinion. It says there, ball winning midfielder. I was a bit further off with anchor man. Marking a 14, first touch a 13, tackling a 12. So yeah, he's not too bad. Again, he's been very good and proven to be very good and quite a good wonderkid in previous FMs. So I've never tried him in this FM, but it's just one that I stumbled upon that I recognised. Federico Bravo, this guy's not too bad at all. 20 years old, playing for Boca. He's Argentinian. He's on 2.2k a week at Boca, 450k in value. He's 6 foot, so he's quite big. His technical attributes aren't too bad. He's got heading a 14, marking a 14, passing a 15. So I'm reckoning probably a deep line playmaker or a defensive midfielder, and that would like as in the position. Well, the role rather than the position. Passing a 15, tackling a 13, first touch of 13 as well. His mental attributes are okay too. What have we got going for him? He's not going to be a captain anytime soon. His positioning, he's pretty much just above average across the board. Maybe his decisions will come up and his composure needs a little bit of work as well. But his physical is actually pretty good as well. There's not many bright greens, but there's a lot of 15, a couple of 15s and a couple of 14s in there. He's not very quick, but defensive midfielders never really need to be. He's wanted by 3 clubs on loan: Banfield, PAOK, or PAOK, and Panathinaikos in Greece. So get him early doors if you can. But again, another one that I highly recommend. And I believe that's it for defensive midfield. There may be some centre midfielders or naturally centre midfielders that you may have put in this list, but they will probably appear in the centre midfield list. So that's something to think about. And there may also be, that's a warning for when we move on to centre midfielders, there may actually be defensive what you deem to be a defensive midfielder in the centre midfield list. This has gone purely on what my save and what this load up has come up with their natural and most competent position is. So there may be a couple of players missing, but if you do think there are defensive midfielders that are naturally defensive midfielders and are known to be naturally defensive midfielders under the age of 20 that aren't in this list, get them in the comment section below. Let's get the conversation going as we have in other episodes. If you want to check out the other episodes, so far before this episode we've done goalkeepers, left backs, right backs and centre backs. Links will all be in the description for that, so if you want to check them out you can. This will also be in a playlist eventually, so when all episodes are up you'll be able to look at all different positions. But yeah, so that's pretty much it. So get your comments in. If you've enjoyed the video, please remember to leave a like. I'm not going to beg you to do it or force you to do it. If you just want to watch the video, that's enough for me. But yeah, so I'll see you in the next episode when we look at centre midfielders. Cheers, guys.